Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Maharaj's message is your advantage. The following is a Sri Krishna Chaitanya book compilation given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj on March 17th, 2021 in Sridham, Mayapur, India. The topic today was Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement.
Jalam Rangulang Hayate Gurim Yatitha Tavan Mande Sri Gurum Nidatatinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram Harihi Om Tat Sat. So, today we're telling about the Chandakazi ordering that the kirtan should be stopped. And Chandakazi, hearing the kirtan, he went and broke Salmadranga, and he ordered the Hindu, stop this kirtan. I forgive you this time, but if you do again, I will not only confiscate all your property, but I will convert you forcibly to become a Muslim. So then he went and reported this to Lord Chaitanya. And he said, who is this? Who is this Kazi? You can't do the kirtan. So then he said that night he would chant around Naladi town. So after that time, no one had really seen Lord Chaitanya's kirtan. The kirtan was held and Srilas Angan, and outside people were not allowed. Only the people that Srilas Thakur admitted, they could come. So some of the demons and some of the devotees, in general, people, and they eagerly wanted to see Lord Chaitanya chanting and dancing, but none was allowed. And that night, because the Chandakazi had declared that there's no chanting, Lord Chaitanya organized a massive kirtan. So this was explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, that the detail of this kirtan is mentioned in the Chaitanya Bhagavat. So, reading that Chaitanya Bhagavat about the kirtan, they said that Haridas Thakur was in charge of one party, Advaita was in charge of another party, and maybe Srilas was in charge of one. Lord Chaitanya was leading up a party with Nityananda and Gadadhar on his two sides. So the whole city was decorated with banana trees, sugarcane, flower petals on the ground, small conch shells, hoodies, And they did this massive kirtan. The kirtan was so amazing that people were eager to see Lord Chaitanya. But this kirtan sound was transcendental, so it went throughout the whole universe. And not only in the universe, but beyond the universe, to the spiritual world. Everyone, they could hear that the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality Godhead, he was himself doing this kirtan. So Indra, the king of the devas, of the demigods, he came down with some other demigods, and then seeing Lord Chaitanya chanting and dancing, tears coming out of his eyes, Indra was like overwhelmed. The Supreme Personality Godhead, in ecstasy, he fainted on the ground. When he came conscious, he took a human form and joined the kirtan. The angels, the apsaras, of the heavenly planets, they're throwing down flowers. There was the amazing kirtan going on. Lord Chaitanya dancing, crying. He was manifesting all kinds of ecstasy. Even a group of Sundays, of atheists, they're watching, and they're amazed. They became mad with Krishna Bhakti. They started to chant, roll on the ground. Even the atheists, even for Sunday, were overwhelmed by this kirtan. What to think of the ordinary people? Overwhelmed. Some descriptions say hundreds of thousands, some say millions. It was like unlimited people. And considering that people came from all over the universe to participate in this kirtan, like Lord Krishna, he had the Kurukshetra war. Lord Chaitanya had this kirtan. This kirtan was unbelievable. Unbelievable, out of this world. In the spiritual world, they're hearing the sound, and they want to go down and join how the Supreme Personality of Godhead is chanting and dancing. And he was like, sometimes he would faint, so like tears are coming from his eyes. The kirtan, although it lasted one night, actually, it was not like a day of Brahma. It's unbelievable. And all the devotees were chanting. They went throughout Nalbari town. They collected so many people. And the kirtan was going on and on. It was unbelievable, this and the whole town was decorated with beautiful, all the doors had this banana trees, sugarcane stalks, mango leaves, full water pots, everything auspicious. How the whole city was decorated like this, it was like totally amazing. Sometimes Lord Chaitanya fainted, and then the whole thing stopped. But Chaitanya was going on, and then the Nityananda was driving Lord Chaitanya. He went on. And the Chandkazi, they heard from a distance the kirtan. He thought, what is this? Maybe the Hindus are having some marriage party. Go out and see. Soldiers of the Chandkazi went out with the turbans, and they saw hundreds of thousands, millions of people with they got frightened. Oh no, they see us, they turn off the turban, they start chanting, dancing. It was like amazing situation. So there, the crowd was angry. Burn the Kazi, get the Kazi. And the Lord Chaitanya went out. And at that time, the Chand Kazi was hiding in his room. Lord Gauranga, he sat on the veranda of the Chand Kazi's house. He sent in some respectable people. And then they brought out the Chand Kazi, who lowered his head. And Lord Chaitanya gave a seat with all respectable. And then, what is this? I come as a guest to your house, and you're hiding away. You're not receiving me. And then Chand Kazi said, his seat, according to a village relationship, I call your maternal uncle, Nilambar, your maternal grandfather, Nilambar Chakravarti Thakur. I call him as my uncle, Chacha. So that means that if your grandfather is my maternal uncle, that means you're my nephew. So why a nephew is coming with an angry mood? I was hiding because you're angry. So I wanted to be very calm. When you're calmed down, I came out. So she said, well, maternal uncle, why are you receiving me such a way? I came to ask you a question. That you drink cow's milk, your bulls are plowing your field, producing your grain. So the cow is your mother, the bull is your father. Why do you kill your father? And then the Chand Kazi said, well, you see, you follow the Vedas, the Puranas, we follow the Quran. So in the Quran, there's two paths, the Viti Marg and Pravritti Marg, the path of renunciation and the path of enjoyment. So in the renounced path, one should not eat meat. But in the enjoying path, you can eat meat. So we eat cows. But in your Puranas and your Vedas, also they have horse and cow sacrifice. So you're also killing a cow. The Lord Chaitanya really spoke. He said that an old cow used to be sacrificed as experiment and rejuvenated, brought back to life. So in the Kali Yuga, says Brahmanas are not so powerful, and therefore this 5 things are prohibited. One of it's a cow, a horse, sacrifice. Because Brahmanas don't have so much power. But if you kill a cow, you can't bring the cow back to life. Then you have to have a hellish reaction. For many years, there's hairs on the cow's body. So your destination is very, very bad. So another question. Why is it that you being a Muslim ruler, you're not so much chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra is going on in your city? Why is that? Also, in your Quran, not everything is very logical. Many things don't make sense. So then the Chankasi, he said, the Muslim came to the meeting and they complained that everyone is chanting Hari Hari. I asked them, all right, Hindus, they chant the name Hari because that's the name of their God. They chant the name of Krishna. But you deal Muslims, why do you chant it? And they said, well, we don't know what the Hindus have, what portions they give us. But since I joked, the Hindu had said, Hari, I cannot help but say Hari Hari, Hari Hari. And then the other one said, since I joked with a Hindu, their name Krishna Das, Ram Das. After that, I can't help my tongue. Just chant, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. I cannot help it. I don't want to chant. I don't know what it is that these Hindus have done to me, but I just chant the name of Hare Krishna. So then, sometimes, well, go home and I'll look into this. Then some Hindus came. They said, we worship the various forms of Durga, Visa-Lakshmi. And I stay up all the night and play music. But we don't find anywhere in our scripture it mentions chanting Hare Krishna. This Nimai, he was a good boy. He was a very good boy. But when he came back to Gaya, he got initiated or something, and he changed. He had chanting, crying, laughing, hair standing on end, sometimes fainting. So, and the people have become practically mad. Everyone's chanting Hare Krishna. And it says that the name of God, if you chant it, is the most powerful name. But if all these low-class people chant the name, it'll lose its power. So therefore he should be told, banned from Navadvip. So Chankali said, well, okay, I'll look into it. And then the Lord Chaitanya asked, well, why is it that you're not you're allowing people to chant the holy name? So much kirtan is going on out in Navadvip. He said, well, if you let me go privately, I'll tell you. And you can tell me here, these are all my close associates. They'll not harm you. Nothing to fear. And so he said, well, my orderlies went, and as soon as I tell some Hindu to stop chanting, flames come up and burn their beards. He came to me, several orderlies. I told him to go home and sit there. And then he said, that very night I told the Hindu not to chant, and I broke their Mridanga drum. And then that night, I had this horrible dream. The head of a lion, body of a man. He came to me and said, you have dared to tell my devotees not to chant my name. If you do this again, I will kill you. I'll kill your family. I'll kill all the meat eaters. So I was shaking. I was so frightened. He put his claws in my chest. He said, this time, because you did great, too much disturbance. I'm sparing you, but if you do again, I finish you. And then he opened his shirt and showed Lord Chaitanya his teeth, claw marks on the chest. And then Lord Chaitanya said, I have one request. Please do not disturb the chanting of Hare Krishna in this district. And the Chandraji said, not only me, but I said my descendants, as long as they exist, that they should not disturb the chanting of Hare Krishna in Navadvip. Actually, I met a descendant of Chandraji in the village of Mayapur, Brahmanpur, and he confirmed that it was the order of the Chandraji that all the descendants should not disturb the Harinam Sankirtan. So, this way, the Chandraji touched the lotus feet of Lord Gauranga. He said, everybody calls you Gaurahari. I want to also call you as Gaurahari. And Lord Chaitanya said, you chant the name Hari Krishna. Sometimes he chanted the Narayan name. So he said, because you chant these names of Krishna, all your offenses have been forgiven. All your sins have been forgiven. And you are a great, pious person. And you have no more sins because you chanted the name of the Lord. When he said that, tears rolled down down from the beard of the Chandraji. Actually, we have that, the Chandraji gave the symbol that you carry this, and this means the official order that no one should disturb your kirtan. After this, Lord Chaitanya, his kirtan party went to all the people through various marketplaces and went to the house of the Kolavesha Sridhar. This was the symbol that the kirtan party carried on a stick. No one would disturb the kirtan. This is the mark of the Chandraji. So, after that, when Lord Chaitanya went to the house of Kolavesha Sridhar, he was thirsty from so many hours of kirtan. So he took, the Kolavesha Sridhar was very poor, so he had a pot which was made of iron. So Lord Chaitanya went and took water from that pot. And Kolavesha Sridhar, he said, no, it's not suitable for you. He said, if the only drinks from it, it's suitable for me. So, like this, Lord Chaitanya rested in the house of Sridhar near our Jagannath temple, and Then he went home, and all the devotees went home to their respective homes. So this was the pastime mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita about the Chantaji and Lord Gauranga. Haribo.
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.